Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Podcast with an Accent. I'm your host, Vadim Gulik, and today we have Janis Lasmanis with us. Janis is founder and CEO of Corsair Service, specializing in car detailing. Welcome, Janis.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Pleasure to have you here, Janis. Tell us, what's your accent? What accent do you speak with?
Hey, man, super happy to be here. This is my first podcast, and really appreciate giving the opportunity to me. So what accent I'm talking? What accent I'm speaking is I have a really super mixed accent. A lot of people try to guess it, and they never write about it. I hear New Zealand, South Africa, all sorts. But literally, I have a Latvian accent. However, I pretty much speak with a slight British accent because I lived for past 10 years. I lived in England, just outside London. So that's where I picked up some British slang and then some British vocabulary and also some weird accent. I can make my Russian accent up if I need to. Nice. If I need to speak a little, if I don't want to speak to nobody, I just start to speak with my Russian accent. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Very, very mixed, very confusing, but I'm doing my best here.
What's your big why? What's your mission, vision for your life, for your business?
So my big vision is, I'm one of those guys who just really started to work for myself. Obviously I want to be successful and I'm moving that direction. I have finally found something, what I'm really passionate about. For some of you who don't know me, I had almost any job you can probably imagine, starting with being an undertaker in funeral home, being in military, working behind a bar, working as a security guard, working as a bodyguard for very high profile people, running restaurants, you name it, I've done it, and what I can tell you, I was a little bit disappointed in myself that, in early age, I didn't find that one right thing for myself. I looked at some people and, somebody was really good at painting and they really loved it and they got really good at it. But I was kind of okay with everything else. Like I was okay with everything, doing little bits. I could be a builder. I could be a postman. I could be everything. And I didn't have that one thing where I was super passionate and good over. So luckily at the age of 29, taking a little break from working, my butt off in every possible job, I finally found something I'm really passionate and becoming really good about, which is car detailing valuing. So the things what we do, it's not just, we don't just clean cars, we're not a car wash. What we do is we rejuvenate paint. We spend a lot of hours and effort, into bringing something back. What doesn't look as good as it used to, we try to bring back. So there's a lot of precise details in the whole business, and I love it. I really love it, and I finally found that thing for myself, what makes me happy. So I don't go to work. I go to have some good time, with some cool people.
Perfect. Janis, what's your story?
So my story is really simple. Just a simple guy from Latvia. Latvia is a country in Europe. It's a post-Soviet country, which became independent in 1991. So I was technically born in Russia in 1988. Mother worked in a school. Dad was in military. Then later on, I was raised by a single mother. Nothing major. Always wanted to get out of the little city. For something bigger. Always looked up to America. Funny enough, now I ended up here. I don't know why, but when I was a little kid, I always thought I will live in America. And this journey has taken so long, to be fair. I moved about in Europe a little bit. I lived a little bit in Moscow. I lived in England for a very long time. So yeah, no major education. I was always driven I was always driven to follow people, not so much the education. And I never thought that I can become a really good business owner just going to business school. A lot of people take that course. I always found that I found people who inspired me, and I wanted to be like them, and I wanted to learn from them. So even in this business, what I've done, I found one of the best guys in this whole country who does what I do now. And I just kept knocking on his doors. Come on, teach me, teach me. And the kid's 24 years old, super talented guy. And he was confused, this big guy just turns up to his doorstep and just asks him all these questions. But yeah, I've been super fortunate to have all these opportunities in life. And yeah, I didn't go the right way, the right route. I always try to find my idols in life and then follow them. And it's been a crazy journey and still continuing, Every day we learn. And yeah, simple guy coming from nothing, and moving forward, moving to the right direction. That's what I like to think so.
Amazing. What inspires you, Janis?
What really inspires me, and it's God's honest truth, happy people inspire me. I'm really inspired by other people's success. I know a lot of you guys don't know where I'm from and how it is out there, but there's a lot of negativity. If your neighbor is doing well, for the most part, people are looking at him like, oh, he must be doing something dodgy, or, he must done somebody over or did something wrong to somebody because, he's got his wealth or something better than you. And that's very stereotypical Eastern European, well, at least from my experience talking, Eastern European thinking. And I was always the opposite one. If I see someone's doing well, someone's being happy, I always strive for that. If I want to see smile on people's faces, the better they do, the better they make me feel around them. And it really, really inspires me. Even if I can lift someone's day, is it the person behind a counter in a shop? Is it a bus driver? If I can make that person's day better, it really drives me forward, and that goes down to, you getting surrounded by positive people, you don't want to be surrounded by negative people, because you know how it is. People are like sponges, they absorb good things. So sometimes, even in not the most positive situations, if you can bring some light into it, I think you can change other people's day around, and then, your day is getting better too,
Totally. Yanis, does your life at the moment look like what you've envisioned it to be in your early 20s?
You know what? Funny enough, hell yeah. It really is set up and even better than I imagined myself in my early 20s. Just out of military, and I didn't finish the school when I was in early 20s. I had my own building company. I always used to do construction and things like that. So I had my own company, and I always wanted to strive for something more, and because early 20s you don't really have that much of experience, you mess up a lot, and those dreams were always there, but the answer wasn't there how to get there. But somehow, I'm literally living my own best life. I'm happy with everything I have. I've met so many amazing people in my life, and my wife, she's such an amazing person. She's just a woman to die for. And it's been so crazy how we met and how I am here right now. And like 10 years ago, I was literally dreaming about this life I have now. And that even comes down to details. I drive a muscle car. I have dogs. I have a blonde wife. Everything is just great. I have my own business. That's what I was striving for since I was a little kid. And in the early 20s, I was almost like stuck, like, hey, how do I get here? And now it's my dream come true. Like, I can literally tell you that pretty much every day. I just appreciate all of this so much, that, yeah, it makes me move forward, and I'm super happy what I got. And I think I don't know how this happened, but I'm here and I'm happy.
What advice would you give your younger self?
What advice would I give my early self? Don't eat yellow snow. No, I think I don't really have any regrets in my life. I think the only advice I'll give to myself, and maybe for some young people, in the teens or 20s, I think I wanted everything too soon. I was striving for the best, which is not bad, but all these goals you set yourself in life, what if you're gonna get a Ferrari if you're 19? What if you're gonna get? What's gonna be after that? Things take time, and it has to be real period of time to achieve certain things. There's no easy way. I was in a lot of moments in my life, I was looking for the fast way. You look at the examples of all these YouTube stars, there's no easy way. Some things happen with some people sooner than with other people, and good for them. However, I think it's all about sacrificing. How much can you put yourself through, for the things you want to have, or people around to have. You got to go through the bads. You got to meet, 100 not that nice people to meet that one diamond, and yeah, just don't rush. Don't rush. It's all going to come. We still have time. In your 20s, 30s, 50s, people live longer in these days. Where I grew up, if you're like 60 or 70, you're pretty much like a write-off. Here, people just enjoy their lives. That's the time when they can have the time for themselves and live their second life. So just take it easy. Don't rush into things, and also enjoy your childhood. I think that's very important, because I worked my butt off since I was a little boy. Every summer I worked in farms and stuff, and it was hard. And sometimes I miss it. I think I missed out of being just a kid, just a teenager, just a reckless kid, doing stupid things instead of meantime when everyone else was having fun, I was working, So just don't grow up too fast. We still have time. I think that's the advice.
Janis, what's that one story from your life that has a valuable message?
I think one of the stories I could tell you would be with my bodyguarding career. So what happened about probably around 10 years ago now, I was on one of these Facebook forums where there's all these security officers, like high rank and bouncers and doormen. At the time I was working as a bouncer with not so big vision of my life. I was working for $10 an hour or something like that, in the dodgy, stinky pub, with a lot of danger out there. So anyway, this one guy from Lithuania, he posted the thing on this forum, and he said, "Hey, what's the chances that I can work for the Queen?" He said, "I've been in Lithuanian military for over 12 years. His record was great, but it was very broken English the way he wrote it. And so many of individuals in the industry really slated him. They're like, hey, you have no chance. You're not born British. It's never going to happen to you. Maybe invest some money in your English skills." And really, they put it down big time. And I really fell out with all that group, because I was like, hey, don't put the guy down. What's wrong with you? Like, we all start from somewhere. So anyway, somehow things happened. And 6 years later, I actually got to work with Princess Charles's bodyguard team. It just fell into my arms. I worked for Royal Shakespeare Company as a counterterrorism advisor and security officer, and they were hosting some royal visits, including the Queen. I personally haven't really met her, but yeah, so things linked up. And then I was not 8 or 9 years later, I was in a team who was looking after a royal Prince Charles. And that was my moment to be like, hey, you know what? In your face, everything is possible. Everything you want, like, there's written rules, you can't be this. Listen, whatever you want, just strive for it. Don't let anybody to put you down. Look up to what you want, and you will achieve it if you want to. If you want it really hard. And you don't always think about how you're going to do it. Just think about the end result, how good it's going to feel when you're going to get there. That's what I think is very important.
Totally. Thank you for sharing the story.
Thank you.
Tell us, Janis, what's your favorite book and why?
You see, I'm actually one of those people. I have to be honest. I haven't read that many books. Books bore me to death. Literally, I'm reading right now. I'm reading about not giving up. That's one of those books. Something. Have you read it?
I'm actually in the first pages of it as well.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What is it called?
The art. The art
of not giving an F. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think I'm one of those weird dinosaurs who's, instead of, like, I could do audiobooks, but still, I worked a lot of hours in my life, and pretty much every time I open a book, I start to fall asleep. So every time I want to explore any of the stories by any of the authors or stuff. I pretty much try to get a shorter version on YouTube. So yeah, this is the bad question for me.
What's your favorite quote, Janis?
I think my favorite quote was by my grandfather, who passed away years and years ago. I'll try to translate it in the best way. It was something like, there's things that I do and there's things that I don't do, but there's nothing I can't do. And by that, I can say from my life, that quote has really inspired me in many ways. That, I might not be from day one the best bodyguard. I might not be the best business owner. I might not be the best employee. I might not be the best. However, if I put my mind into it, if I really want to do it, I'm going to outwork anybody. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to work and sweat till the moment when everybody else drops. I'm still going to keep going. And that's, I think, how you really can, achieve the end result. You don't have to be the best in everything, and this might in life going to be things you don't like to do. But if you want to do it, you can do it and you can make it happen.
Totally. Janis, what turns you on?
What turns me on, I have to be honest, it's barbecue food. Yeah. I get passionate about a lot of stuff. I like cooking. I obviously like to spend some time with friends. I love hosting parties, and I'm a big foodie. Another great thing, living in America, we have barbecue shops all over the place. So I think when I'm going to be old, I'm going to be one of those big, round, circled person who stands next to barbecue all day long. So yeah, other people's success, like the same thing that inspires me, turns me on. Other people's success, surrounding myself with right people, seeing things happening. Like, the more better things you do, the more you achieve, the more I'm getting hungry for it. That drives me. I had a good day, I had a couple of deals. I finished some good work. I'm like, yeah, that drives me. That's what turns me on, I guess.
Amazing. We're almost at the end of the episode. What's the best way to find you online?
So to find me online, the best way probably would be my Facebook. I'm super Facebook active, and I apologize about my silly posts time to time. Don't we all? But so it's Janis Lasmanis, which is Janis. And my surname Lasmanis, Lasmanis. And my company is called Mobile Detailing by Corsair. You can also find me on Instagram. On Instagram, it is Corsair Service LLC. I'm sure you're going to link up some of it because, the long names. And I just want to tell you, if you like cars, if you're interested in cars, and if you're passionate about any motorized cool vehicles, give me a follow, and you'll see some of the work we do. And what we get done, we really get to work on some amazing vehicles, starting from literally from your daily beaters up to McLarens and Lamborghinis, and hopefully some formulas and submarines one day.
This brings the episode to the end. Janis, thank you for your time.
Hey, buddy, listen, this is my first time, and I just wanted to say again, big thanks for having me over here. I think you're doing a great job. I think this podcast is going to go a long ways, and yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the next episode.
Yes, sir.